The world had already been scarred by war, but nothing compared to the catastrophe that followed the destruction of Asteroid M. When the massive station exploded, it released the largest electromagnetic pulse humanity had ever witnessed. Entire nations were plunged into darkness, their technology wiped out in a single instant. Yet amid the chaos, one region still retained working power: Russia, and more specifically, the stronghold of Pyotr Rasputin, the man once known as Colossus. But Colossus was no longer the loyal X-Man he had once been. Hardened by bitterness and driven by darker ambitions, he had aligned himself with mercenaries who shared his hunger for dominance. Omega Red, Sabretooth, and Deadpool stood beside him, bound together by greed, violence, and opportunity. Together they seized control of Russia's remaining energy supply, transforming it into a heavily fortified base and daring the world to challenge them. Nick Fury understood the danger immediately. If that power stayed in enemy hands, civilization would never fully recover. To stop them, he assembled a strike force unlike any other. Captain America, the Winter Soldier, Wolverine, and an elite SHIELD unit were sent on a single mission: infiltrate the fortress, reclaim the energy source, and eliminate the threat. But Colossus and his mercenaries were prepared. They ambushed Fury's team with ruthless efficiency. One by one, the soldiers were cut down, and the operation collapsed into slaughter. The mercenaries captured Wolverine, Captain America, and the Winter Soldier, planting explosive devices inside their bodies as a final act of cruelty. When Deadpool gleefully pressed the detonator, the world watched three heroes explode in an instant. For most people, that would have been the end. But Wolverine's curse and his greatest gift was survival. His body was shredded by the blast, torn into ruin, yet his healing factor worked relentlessly. Slowly, piece by piece, it dragged him back from death itself. When Logan finally opened his eyes again, only one thought remained in his mind: vengeance. What followed was a savage campaign. Wolverine at his most primal. Like a patient predator, he hunted those responsible, dismantling their alliance one target at a time. With Forge's assistance, he managed to strip Sabretooth of his healing factor, leaving Victor Creed vulnerable for the first time in decades. Their confrontation ended brutally, Wolverine's claws ripping through Creed's body with lethal finality. Omega Red was next. The deadly mutant struck with his carbonadium coils, lashing out with lethal force. But Wolverine turned the assassin's own weapons against him, twisting the coils around Omega Red's neck before snapping it with a brutal crack. Years of rivalry ended in seconds as Omega Red's body collapsed lifelessly to the floor. Deadpool was madness incarnate, laughing wildly even as he fought. Their battle tore through the fortress corridors until Wolverine found the perfect solution. With a feral kick, Logan launched Deadpool directly into the core of a nuclear reactor. The chamber blazed with blinding light as the mercenary's body was consumed, his manic laughter finally silenced. Only Colossus remained. Once, Logan had called him a brother. Now he was nothing more than another tyrant standing in his path. Their battle was fierce and bitter, Colossus's towering metallic strength clashing against Wolverine's unstoppable fury. Claws scraped against steel again and again until Logan finally found his opening. With a brutal slash, he tore Colossus open, gutting the former X-Man and ending his reign in a pool of blood. When the carnage finally ended, the fortress lay in ruins. The mercenaries were dead, their power shattered. Wolverine stood alone among the wreckage, battered but unbroken, the fire of vengeance slowly fading within him. He had avenged his fallen allies, delivered his own brutal justice, and reminded the world of a simple truth: when you find yourself on the wrong side of Wolverine, there is no mercy and no escape.